Hey, I'm glad you could join us for this intention. I'm just going to explain a little bit about how it works so you can play along with us because it's a lot of fun and you're going to really feel the energy moving as we do this together. So we start by breathing together 3 times. I will read the intention for the first time right after we breathe together. And at that point, just let your imagination run wild. This is the new reality. This is happening now. And so you just let your mind enjoy playfully what might be happening that illustrates this is the new reality for you. I'll read it for a second time 3 minutes later, and then you pull it down into your heart, surround it with love, and let even more images come to mind. Whatever it is the perfect thing for you. 3.5 minutes later, I read it for the final time. And this is when you softly, gently release the intention out to anyone who needs it and is willing to receive it. What this means is you actually receive the intention 3 times in the process of giving it. So you will feel quite a bit of energy coming up for you. So we hold the intention for a total of 10 minutes. And then when we're done, we take turns talking about what our experience was like and what images came to mind and what downloads we received. It's really fun and it's really interesting. So let's get started. Let's breathe together 3 times. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. In love and light, we hold the intention that Staci, Peggy, and all of us are optimally healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and financially. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In love and light, we hold the intention that Stacy, Peggy, and all of us are optimally healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and financially. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Recording in progress.
In love and light, we hold the intention that Stacy, Peggy, and all of us are optimally healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and financially. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We give thanks, and so it is. Whew. There was a lot of energy around that. A lot of energy around that. I usually go last, but I'm going to go first this time because I got a ton of stuff. So I first saw angels playing putt-putt golf. That's that outside thing with the little windmill and, you know, the little, yeah, things that you have. And they were having a great time. They were talking about it's important to be playful and shift into a playful mindset. And the angels were very emphatic. They said the biggest challenge with this particular intention is humans are not too good at letting themselves receive. We're giving to you guys all the freaking time, but you're not too good about letting it in. So, you know, if you're willing to receive, then that's awesome. They said you have to stay out of the but zone. But I can't, but it's never, but I don't, but how, but yeah, no, get out of the but zone. Absolutely not. I saw all these rays of light flowing through us, and that we have to notice and appreciate what we're receiving. They called it the gratitude game. So no matter what's happening, what can you be grateful for no matter what? You could be grateful for your level of awareness or consciousness. You could be grateful that other people care about you. Look at all the people who are participating in this intention. You could be grateful for the existing blessings that are in your life and the coming blessings. You don't even have to know what they are, but you can be grateful for them in advance. And I got this message, who are you being? You know, they gave me a specific example. They said, if you're frustrated by aches and pains, you have the potential to say, thank you for reminding me that I have a strong and healthy body. And you say that because you always want to celebrate what is wanted, not anchor in what is not wanted. So we always want to say, thank you for my strong and healthy body. And thank you, Divine. How can it get even better than this? And one of the things that I've taught for a few years now is how to activate abundance. And there are 5 steps to activate abundance. It starts with gratitude and being grateful that you're in partnership with the divine, and the divine can create miracles. You don't have to understand how it works. You don't even have to believe it. You can just let it happen. And isn't that awesome that you can be in that space? So step 1 is gratitude. Step 2 is acknowledge something that maybe you heard in a different way. I mean, maybe you didn't know that angels like to play putt-putt golf, you know, might be new. So acknowledge something that's different for you. Step 3 is appreciate the difference it can make in your life. Maybe I could lighten up a little bit. Maybe I could be a little more playful. Maybe I could bring in more gratitude into my life, and that could make a difference. Step 4 is to activate it. And there's 2 different ways that you activate something. You can either pull out your calendar and write it down. I'm going to go play putt-putt golf on this day, and it's going to remind me this whole thing. Or you come up with a trigger, and maybe it's crossing your fingers, and that's going to remind you to take this action. And remember that everything is the gratitude game. And what can I find to be grateful for in this moment? So those are the 2 different ways that you can activate abundance. And then the 5th step is celebrate your progress. It's not all on you. It's on you to keep the momentum going. It's like a top that you're spinning, and you're starting it to spin, and then the divine takes over the momentum from there. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to have all the answers, but celebrate your role, celebrate your progress. And I received a download just yesterday that these 5 steps correspond with the 5 love languages. That's why it's so powerful. You're creating a love bubble as you do the Activate Abundance process. So gratitude is quality time. That's the first love language, is spending quality time with someone. Acknowledging something that's important to you is the surprise, because it can be different things for different people. No 2 people see the same thing in the same situation. The 3rd step is appreciate. Those are words of affirmation. Those are words of praise. Okay. Then activate is doing something for someone, because often we're trapped in our own little world and we don't see the potential, but somebody else can model it for us. And then we receive the benefit. Even though we didn't do it, we witnessed it. And in that way, we are also transformed. And celebrate is physical touch. So how interesting that you have this opportunity to have an incredible life no matter what's happening. So that was what I got. It was pretty magical, and there was a lot of energy around it. So yeah, how can it get even better than this? Thank you, Divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Peggy, you're unmuted. You want to share what your experience was like?
Sure. Um, it was very busy. Started with angels, big long wings, big long robes, big long trumpets, big huge instruments, and I can't remember what they were trumpeting, but they were really, really going at it and announcing to the world that here we were. So I think that must have been a takeoff on the coronation on Saturday. But it was really fun. I enjoyed hearing the music that they were doing. And then the Pootie showed up, and there's coming in those cute little cherubs on long ribbons and swinging into the space and playing and back and forth, doing gymnastics in the sky on their beautiful ribbons. So that was very fun. And we were, of course, up there trying to do it with them, but a little bit out of practice, but nevertheless, giving it our best. And so that was very, very fun. All these angels, and then on the grass, and people rolling around down on the very soft, wonderful northern green grass, not old crabgrass, St. Augustine crap, and all the stuff they grow in different places, but wonderful, soft green grass that one can enjoy walking on barefooted and rolling on. I mean, for all I know, we took our clothes off and rolled naked. It felt so good. But it was quite lovely and quite fun, and everybody was playing for all they were worth. And there was plenty more in there, but those are the highlights. The angels were spectacular. The music was spectacular. And I know what it was. It was in the different spots. Here was this part of this large place that had snow coming down, and this one had rain coming down, and this one was all sunshiny, and this one was whatever, a different weather. So all the different weathers were represented right there, so that the entire world was participating, whatever the season was, wherever it was. So that got to be very fun, because people got to make snow angels, and you see the cute little Pootie making snow angels, which they'd never had the opportunity to do before. And so it was great.
I love that you brought in that playfulness, that was present for you too, because that was a big theme. You guys make this so much harder than it really is. Chill, honey. That was one of the big messages that came through, and I love all that imagery. That's fabulous. I wish I heard the soundtrack. You'll have to come up with that one for me, Peggy. Awesome. Renee, would you like to unmute and share what your experience was like?
Sure, thank you. It's funny because I was locked into that playful theme right off the bat, and I'm sorry if my volume was on, and then my Zoom on the computer came on, because I actually laughed the second I went into kind of the intention and the motivation. I just had to laugh, because all of a sudden I became a superhero, and I inflated to the size of like Godzilla or King Kong, and just superpowers. I didn't need my glasses. My vision was extraordinary. I felt strength, I felt energy, I was a million places all at once. My brain inflated so big that I could barely carry my head, but I was like flying in the air and just coasting, and it was just it was just playful and funny and fun, and then I had like, you know, what do you call, almost like a launch pad on my back, and so it was like it was launching me through the galaxy into the universe, and then I landed in an office, and some corporate office that I was running, and that's where it kind of ended. And it all kind of everything kind of connects because I need a job. I've been dealing with long haul COVID symptoms, and you know, with my memory and my communication and my energy, and so it was a blessing to have that, and it made me laugh too. And thank you.
That is wonderful. I'm so glad you brought that in, because isn't it wonderful that now you've received this healing? And by participating in the intention, you receive it 3 times. So
Yeah.
you will start to notice a shift. And often it can start as subtle things. And it's because the divine really wants to make sure you're paying attention and appreciative of the little changes. And then you get bigger and bigger changes. So thank you for bringing that in, Renee. That's really beautiful.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, Todd, we can't see you, but we'd love to hear you. What was your experience like?
I was reminded that lately, if I feel in danger, I catch myself saying bubbles, literally, and I'm thinking of me inside of a center bubble, inside of a bubble, inside of a bubble, inside of a bubble. Anyway, and it kind of laughed when I thought of the term bubbles up. Anyway, in terms of aches and pains, when I get them, I'm reminded of, well, I'm 69, so I'm reminded of a lot of people, and I am grateful to remind, many of them are you for that matter, and I'm sending you good intentions for your aches and pains, partially because I know that's going to come back to me and help me with mine. The other thing is, well, there was bubbles and the fact that I'm seeing lights and bubbles and angels and bubbles and that sort of thing. But I was amazed how my list of gratitude, acceptance, love, peace, and appreciation is a little bit similar to the list that you gave, Elaine.
Isn't that interesting? That is fascinating. Todd, thank you so much for bringing that in. And I'm seeing this playful theme again. It seems like that's kind of the norm for tonight. Georgie, you want to unmute and share what your experience was like?
Elaine, you're rubbing off on us. I wish Peggy would rub off on me a little bit. With her R-rated thoughts all the time. Anyway, I had the same thing with bubbles. I felt we were in a circle and we were surrounded by a huge bubble, and the angels blew in with their horns. They blew in joy, love, peace, forgiveness, gratitude. And we were in that bubble, and that bubble kept getting bigger and bigger. They took that bubble, flew it through the whole world, and flew it into the Stadium of Light. In the Stadium of Light, we upped the energy again, and then we went into the field and the whole world, and we offered our love, light, joy, everything else to everybody, and everybody who wanted to be with us, be like us, and they would join us, even my kids. And then, yeah, after we offered it to everybody, some of the people, the unlovables, they didn't want to be here.
As a non-native,
They didn't want to be here. So we left them in the shadows. There will be a time when they will join. And that's what happened with me. But we were actually having a great time.
That's really beautiful, Dorothy. And it's a good reminder too. The best way to heal the world is to heal yourself first. And it starts as energy. It's energy first. It's thoughts, it's emotions, that is what leads the way to the physical change and the reality change.
And also, while I'm intentioning, I don't feel any pain. And recently, yes, I have a lot of pain still, but all my muscle spasms are loosening up.
Right.
So I'm starting to feel better and better. Todd, we're not too old.
Not by a long shot. Lots more life left in those guys for sure. So Melly, how about you? What was your experience like?
Well, it was very, very different. I've been finding that I've been experiencing things very differently, these last few months. And again, angels, and it was specifically one angel. And she was more out of focus, but then became in focus. And I saw her, she was sort of over something, but it led me to believe it was a being. And after a while, I saw Staci. I must have met Staci because I've known her sister, Linda, for a while. So at some point in the last 22 years, I've met Staci. And she was just lying. She was just lying there. And Linda was holding her hand. Her sister was holding her hand. And then she opens her eyes and she says, "I'm done with this. I'm done with this," and gets up. And then I don't see anything else. I just see colors. And usually they were colors that I have never seen before. Not that never seen before, but never visualized before. They were just beautiful, purple, a maroon, and they would fade. It would just fade back and forth. And then I saw a green. And that's sort of like how it went out. But Staci sat up and said, "I'm done with this."
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. And I love that you bring in the power of choice, because we have choice in the moment of what we're going to put our focus on. We can play the gratitude game, or we can whine and complain. It's a choice, right? So thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that in. Very cool. And I love the way what you received during our intentions has shifted dramatically from when we first started. And you didn't get a whole lot when we first started, but now you've been doing this for 3 or 4 years. You're getting some really good stuff.
All right.
Dawn, would you like to unmute and share what your experience was like?
Well, overall, it was like just real happiness. It was just so nice and bright from the very beginning. Well, one thing I was so curious for Peggy, because I don't know why especially her heart, my brain thought, what could it be? It didn't seem to fit her personality. And so I'll just share this. I just saw a little boy and something that she was hurt, and that's all I saw. I didn't see anything more, so I had no idea what it was. And then that's it. But overall, that was the beginning. And then just overall very happy, just really nice, just felt wonderful. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's the energy that we're trying to bring in, that we're welcoming in, that we're absorbing and then resonating out. That feeling of joy and peace and comfort. And yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie, we want to hear from you too. What was your experience like? You told me before we got started that you were feeling a little low energy.
Yes,
Maybe
and
that
I have
shifted.
lots of energy now. Lots of energy. This is so great. It's so great. I love that playful theme here that we have going, because I saw all these nutcrackers, and you know how stiff they are, and they're just like stoic and everything. And all of a sudden they were also flexible, and they were almost flying, but they were dancing, and they were and I thought it was so vivid that I thought, is it Christmas? Am I, Did I miss something? Is it Christmas? Because it felt so real and playful. And then they were all doing, you know how Michael Jackson does that thing with his feet? They were doing that. And they were inviting us in to dance. And then as they were dancing and we were all dancing and everything started to slow down and it was so graceful and beautiful and there are a lot of colors, but mostly like pink. It almost it reminded me of one of your paintings, Peggy, all the swirls and and then I heard all is well. So slow down, all is well, relax. And there was like this pink pulsating light just emanating from every, as far as my imagine could see. It was just like pulsing. I guess that's what, and it was so, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I think I just I love that this is for all of us as energy because I can actually feel it. It's palatable. It's
Yes.
like, yes. So thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, thank you.
And
Yes.
I'm so grateful to you that you're receiving it.
Yes.
You were willing to receive it and feel it and own it. And that pink light, people often say that when they are receiving healing energy, they notice a pinkish light. It can be kind of a
Yes.
golden pinky color. So I'm not surprised that you're feeling that. And especially when you were feeling a little low energy and then the energy came back. Yeah.
Oh, and Elaine, every time you said in love and light, I heard delight. In love and delight. So that was
great. That's great. Wow. What an incredible experience. This was really marvelous. And anybody who wants to watch this video and hold the intention, they can leave their comments below the video and they'll feel the energy and they'll feel our energy supporting them. It just is additive. It doesn't matter when, whether you're watching it live or participating live or in recording, it all does the same thing. So this was great.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining me.